Hello, everybody. Excuse me. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M. And I'm back with yet another video. This time, I promised that I would be making videos about Erika Jayne, and here I am, keeping that promise. So, before I get started, let me just go ahead and do my usual church announcements. Here we are at my homepage, The Object of Art, and I always start off at this homepage because I want you to know that you're at the right place. You're at The Object of Art. You're here to watch my videos and learn as much as you possibly can about various issues that concern and affect the arts in general and things that are ancillary to them, but nevertheless an integral part of the machine. Okay? So anyway, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Like, comment, subscribe. For returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. For new viewers, thank you so much for being new. And once again, like, comment, subscribe, only if you feel compelled to do so. And of course, share the videos if you know somebody that you feel might be interested in this material. Also, I always provide you with this option as well. If you don't like the videos, hit the dislike button. And also, tell me what I did wrong. So, now that we got that out the way, I can get going. And I decided to make a video about something that I enjoy a great deal, watching trash on TV, or reading about trash on reality television, and entertaining myself that way. And the hot sort of topic in the last year, actually, has been this woman down here, Erika Jayne, and or Girardi, and her various troubles with regard to legal matters, financial matters, and possibly, should I even go ahead and say it, criminal matters. And I've been following this story, and I've been following other people who have been following this story and watching videos and reading articles here and there. And I said, you know what? I have a channel now, and I can say whatever I want about this. I think of reality TV and these Housewives shows as a form of performance art. And I know that might sound ridiculous. I know you might say, really? You really think that's art? Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do. And that's why I believe it's appropriate for me to talk about on this channel. But anyway, like I was saying, I've been following this story for quite some time. Since about a year or so, on and off. And I have very quickly realized about a year ago when I started being interested in this, Erika is just, everybody hates her. Everybody hates this woman. And I'm trying to figure out why. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. I unfortunately, I don't like to be part of the crowd. I like to be a little bit different, and this is going to be different. You can kind of justify it or explain it as saying, oh, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate. No, I don't think I am playing devil's advocate, but I am looking at and considering an alternative viewpoint. Like, everybody hates her. Everybody thinks she's just horrible and terrible and no good and very bad. And I'm like, what are they basing that on? That's my only question. What are they basing that on? Like, what has she personally done? And or what has her husband or ex-husband or whatever the situation is? Like, what did he do? I don't know. I've been following this story for a year, and I still don't know exactly what happened, or exactly what's going on, or exactly why people seem to despise this woman. You know, people who watch the show and people who review the show. I have yet to find one reviewer, like here on YouTube or a blog or whatever, that says, you know what? You know, who knows? Maybe Erika might be telling the truth. Or maybe Erika is not a terrible person. Or maybe Erika has nothing to do with anything. Or, you know, am I like nuts for thinking that or feeling that way? Okay, I'm back. Another little interruption. But anyway, here we are again, and I was talking about Erika. And I was saying, you know, like, what's going on? Do we really know what's going on? This is an extremely controversial case. She's an extremely controversial person. And like I said, after following the case for a little over a year now, I still don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe that says something about me, but, you know, it probably does. But it also maybe says something about the reporting going on regarding Tom Girardi and Erika Jayne. Something's wrong. My spidey sense is telling me that something is wrong. And not necessarily with Erika. I know that's a very controversial opinion. I don't know enough about this woman to have an opinion about her. Definitely not from the media, the news, the blogs, the gossip websites, the YouTube channels. I know, you know, anybody who possibly watches this or listens to it and is absolutely convinced that Erika is the devil incarnate is gonna react to what I have to say with, you know, they're not gonna be receptive to whatever it is that I have to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway because that is my right to say it. Let me start off. You know, I've got all these tabs lined up, and I don't know whether or not I'm gonna put all of these links in the description of this video, because I do that all the time for my other videos. For this one, I just don't know whether or not I should, because excuse me, you know, maybe people should look into this a little more. And if I just hand people links, it'll be a little too easy. But let me just get going, right? Here's her Wikipedia page, right? It talks about her life, her career, and her personal life and legal issues, as you say here. As you see here. Sorry. It's late and I'm tired and I wanted to do this video because I just need to talk about anything. But, you know, it talks about the drama, right? She married Tom in 2000 and they met in 1998. Okay. In November 2020, she announced her separation from Tom and filed for divorce. And 1 month after the divorce announcement, it says right here, 1 month after the divorce announcement, the couple were named in a lawsuit for allegedly embezzling funds meant for families of the victims of the fatal 2008 Lion Air plane crash. All right. That sounds awfully suspicious, doesn't it? Like, oh, they must be up to no good. They got divorced or whatever. Or were in the process of getting divorced. I don't even know if they're really divorced, to be honest with you, because the reporting on that is murky. But anyway, they allegedly separated and filed for divorce 1 month before being named in this lawsuit for allegedly embezzling funds meant for the families of the victims of the fatal 2018 Lion Air plane crash. And we're going to talk about that shortly. Okay? It says here, media outlets reported that the divorce could be a sham to hide assets. All right. In December 2020, Chicago-based law firm asked a federal judge to order Jayne to stop selling designer clothing online amid an effort to recover $2 million in missing money owed to people. Okay. On December 17th, 2020, the Los Angeles Times published a detailed article about the couple's legal issues titled The Legal Titan and the Real Housewife, The Rise and Fall of Tom Girardi and Erika Jayne. 2 days later, Jayne released an Instagram post revealing text messages and photos of Tom Girardi's alleged mistress. A documentary about the couple's highly publicized legal troubles titled The Housewife and the Hustler was released on Hulu on June 14th, 2021. And there was a great interest in that show. And yes, I've seen it. And whoever did this documentary, in my opinion, they could have done better. They could have done a better job. It was not, in my opinion, this is just, and I'm allowed to have an opinion. In my opinion, this was not a very well done documentary. They didn't answer any questions. They didn't even really ask any questions. They just went for these, salacious bits of alleged information. And just, it was a documentary constructed, assembled for the sole purpose of having people hate watch it and, seethe at Erika and Tom. That's what I think the point of this whole production was. Again, that's just my opinion. But let's move on, right? So we if you're a Real Housewives fan, you don't even need me to show you this Wikipedia page. You already know who Erika is if you're a fan of the show. And if you're watching this video, chances are that you're a fan of the show. And you know who she is, and you know what she's about, and you know her character. Yeah, I'll say it. That's how I'm going to say it. Her character on the show. And you know what she's famous for. She's famous for being, over the top on this show. And she's famous for her, what do they call it? Legal troubles? Is that what they call it? I don't know. But, and we know enough about Erika if we're fans of the show, if we watch the show. And we think we know about Tom Girardi, a former attorney and co-founder of the now defunct Girardi & Keese, a downtown Los Angeles law firm. Okay? What is going on? You look at Tom's bio, and he was a very well-respected lawyer. Right? He I guess the Erin Brockovich movie was made based on a court case that he handled. I've never seen the movie, so I can't tell you what's in it. But, Erin Brockovich starring Julia Roberts. He was known for his work in Democratic Party politics, donating millions of dollars to campaigns, playing a role in fundraising events, and giving advice to governors regarding judicial appointments. Wow. Wow. That's a pretty influential person. What does it say here? He is also the first trial lawyer to be appointed to the California Judicial Council, the policy-making body of the state courts. Okay? Wow. And now, I think he's a former attorney. I don't know, has he been disbarred? I'm not sure, but I think that's what the word was. But, before all of this, before about the year 2020 or 2019, he was like really quite popular, quite influential, quite famous in legal and political circles. Something about this guy is, again, it's sparking my intuition and saying, wow, what's going on, right? His legal issues is basically why we're here, right? Talks about the dole food and shell chemicals, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not here to talk about that. Here to talk about this. In December 2020, a federal judge in Chicago froze Girardi's assets, citing that he had misappropriated at least $2 million in client funds that were due to the families of those killed by the Boeing 737 MAX Lion Air Flight 610 crash in Indonesia. Okay? No one from the Girardi-Keese law firm, including Girardi, appeared at the first bankruptcy hearing in January 2021 for 2 Chapter 9 involuntary bankruptcy petitions filed in December 2020. In March 2021, the Los Angeles Times reported that Girardi had been sued more than 100 times. Multiple complaints had been filed against him with the California State Bar. Nevertheless, his bar license had remained pristine due to alleged improper relationships between Girardi and bar officials, as well as Girardi not having malpractice insurance. What? That's hard to believe. I mean, this guy was, the more I read about him, the more I'm realizing like how influential he was and how famous he was as a lawyer. How could he not have malpractice insurance? So doesn't that like sound weird? Doesn't that just sound like every business owner has insurance to cover their ass, like when shit happens? But him? No malpractice insurance. Okay. Many of the bar complaints involved alleged financial malfeasance, including allegations of theft by 24 women who won $17 million in a lawsuit claiming that hormone replacement therapy caused their cancer, along with the alleged misappropriation of millions of dollars in a burn victim lawsuit. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Lion Air situation and the burn victim. All right. On March 9th, 2021, the State Bar of California changed Girardi's status to not eligible to practice law in California. Okay. All right. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And again, the story that Erika told about Pasadena and the snow it snowed in Pasadena, and either Tom or her son rolled his car, and, there was a burglary at their home, and Tom fought off the burglars, and he had eye surgery, and in this car accident, he broke his ankle, and I'm not going to cover that in this video. Probably another one, but not this video. No. But trust me, I know about it. Anyway, this is the personal life. This is where they talk about them separating in November 2020, and in February 2021, Tom was placed in a conservatorship due to short-term memory loss. And in March 2021, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. And then he was placed in a memory care facility in August of 2021. And again, people are saying that this is all very convenient. So he'll be declared incompetent, so he won't have to answer for any of the stuff that's claimed that he did up here in this paragraph, in the legal issues section of the Wikipedia article. I don't know what to think. I'm not going to make any judgment right now, but again, something doesn't make sense. Something ain't right about this reporting. And I don't know who's in control of it. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but in my opinion, probably not Tom and Erika. A lot of people, in my opinion, based just on what we've read out loud right now in Erika's Wikipedia article and Tom's Wikipedia article, a lot of people seem to have it out for them. Especially Tom, because he's the lawyer. But Erika too, And I know people are going to say, well, it's obvious because they're bad people and they steal. And is it obvious? Like how is it obvious? Why is it obvious? I don't think it's obvious. And I'm not here so much to find answers, but I am here to ask questions because it doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. To me, personally. Let me keep going. I don't want this to be a monster video that just goes on and on and on and on. But we'll see what happens. Here's an article I found. Attorney confirms Erika Jayne wore a wire for fraud case and was set to be a witness. Reveals details of case and how Real Housewives of Beverly Hills footage led to it being dropped by the feds. Okay, so there was a scene last year on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where the women on the show were playing a game at one of their events or one of their get-togethers or whatever. There was called Two Truths and a Lie. And I guess the rules of the game were that the ladies, each of them had to tell 2 things about themselves that were true and 1 thing that wasn't true. And it was up to the other people there to figure out which of the 3 statements, total 3 statements, is a lie. And Erika, on the show, she said that she had worn a wire. Okay. And now this dude, Ronald Richards, who has been extremely vocal on social media regarding this case, and kind of even, some people might, it could even be interpreted as he's been a little overly zealous, going after Erika and whatever on Twitter and Instagram, or what, not Instagram, but Twitter. I don't know what to think about this guy. He seems like a little too much, you know what I mean? But he in this article, it says, he's sharing some incredible details about the government case Erika Jayne wore a wire for and was set to be a witness in. Just that sentence is a problem for me. What business does he have doing this? I mean, I don't know his role in this whole thing. I know he's been very vocal. He's been Some could even call it like attention-seeking behavior. I don't know. But it says here that after being alerted to past footage of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Ronald revealed on Twitter that the case involving Erika wearing a wire was dismissed this week before sharing details about the case on a podcast. Why would he do that? Is he involved in that case? Is it okay for him to share details about a case? I mean, I know there's like public knowledge if you can find it. But still, like, is it appropriate for him to be talking about this case? Right? He also confirmed this Fed case was unrelated to the separate ongoing legal scandal involving Erika's estranged husband, Thomas Girardi. This is unrelated, quote, this is unrelated to any legal matter we are counsel for. Okay, so why are you, dude? Like, why are you poking around in there when it's none of your business? Okay, let me keep going. This is the clip that triggered our review of this matter. Your review? Okay. Two Truths and One Lie, aired on May 26, 2021. If this was true, we had some concerns. We will now share. Ronald told his online audience on September 30th, along with a clip from a season 11 scene of the show. Okay, Ronald. He's just something. He really is quite something. And I don't know what to think of him. I don't know what role he's really playing in all of this. But he's making sure that everybody can see him and hear him. You know. Oh, dear. What is that? Sorry. She made a revelation about wearing a wire while she was playing this game on the show. Now, he says, oh, no, it's all cleared up. It was something about, this case and whatever. And I'm not going to read this whole article because I don't have that kind of time. But he said, oh, yeah, the wire that she was wearing was for this case. How does he know? How does he know that when she said that she's worn a wire, when she was playing Two Truths and a Lie on the show, how does he know that it's specifically for this one case? And why does he want everybody to believe that it was just for this one case? In addition to, what business is it of his, especially if it's unrelated to what he's working on. Okay. Something ain't right about this either. She said, I have worn a wire. Okay. She didn't say for this case. She said that she's worn a wire. Maybe she's worn a wire multiple times for multiple situations or multiple cases. And I wouldn't be surprised if she has, because she's married to Tom Girardi. Something's up. Something is up. Oof. This is, this isn't what it seems, in my opinion. None of this is really quite what it seems. But anyway, so she's admitted to wearing a wire. This dude had to jump right on it and investigate. And how does he know that there isn't other stuff that she's worn a wire for? See, that shit doesn't make any sense to me. How can he make a statement like that just so confidently? No. No. But okay, so she's worn a wire. We know, and he found this one situation where she's worn a wire. Maybe there are others. Who knows, right? Moving on. Here's another article I found from Entertainment. I think it's Entertainment Tonight, ET Online. It's from this year, but January of this year. Erika Jayne dismissed from embezzlement fraud lawsuit against Tom Girardi. Okay, so she's not. We're going to talk about this Sutton in another video, but not now. Now, everybody loves Sutton, and I like her as a character. I do. She's supposed to be the one to root for this season, right? Okay. There's a scene in this season where Sutton extends her hand to Erika to shake hands with her, and Erika's like, yeah, no, never. I'm never going to shake your hand. And again, the audience just interprets that as Erika being mean or whatever. What else is going on? That's my question. What else is going on with Sutton that would make Erika not want to touch her? I know everybody's saying, oh, it's because, Erika's still sore because Sutton, questioned her about her stuff last season. I think it's more than that. Or I think it's something totally other than that. That's just my opinion. Anyway, she's been dismissed from Tom's embezzlement lawsuit in Illinois. All right, so you can, there's the headline. Go ahead and find the article if you want to read it. Let me make a prediction right now. Let me go ahead and make a prediction right now. I know this video is all over the place, but like I said, I just wanted to talk because I needed to talk about anything. So I made an Erika Jayne video. But let me make a prediction right now. Neither Erika nor Tom will ever be incarcerated in any way, shape, or form for anything. And in my opinion, the way I view this, I think that might be a good thing. Because I got some... I told you already I like conspiracy theories. And I definitely got one about this situation. Yes, I do. Yeah, they're not going to go to jail. They're not going to have to pay any money back to anybody, really. And even if you hear in the news, oh, there's been a judgment or a settlement or whatever, that Tom has to pay back money or whatever. No. Nobody's going to see one red cent of the money that Tom Girardi allegedly owes them. That is my prediction. And I don't, I might not be totally right, but I'm not totally wrong either. Like I said, even if you see in the news, it'll say, oh yeah, the judge said, or what, no. They're not going to get any of the money. If there is any money to get in the first place. We'll get to that in a second. But go ahead and read this article if you want to. They're coming after Erika to get somewhere. I don't know why. Girardi, 82, allegedly embezzled settlement money that was supposed to go to the family members of the victims. What victims? We'll get to that in a second. Girardi and Jayne are accused of using that money to fund their own lavish lifestyles. Okay. And allegedly pay off loans to keep Girardi's law firm afloat. Okay. Something isn't making sense to me. Something isn't making sense. There's something about this whole story with Tom and Erika and what they've allegedly been up to. There's a huge part of this story, at least in the media, the way it's being covered in the media, a huge piece of it is missing. I'm trying to figure out what that is. I will probably not be successful. Here's another article, and this is meow.com, right? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans dub Erika Jayne as pure sociopath for accusing victims of lying about not receiving money. She's made a statement like that, I think on the show. Says here, Erika Jayne claims she can't show compassion to victims for legal reasons. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans say pure trash. Okay. All right. From openly threatening her co-stars who asked her any questions to displaying no signs of remorse or sympathy, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne seems to be on a mission to become the ultimate supervillain of the Real Housewives franchise. And after being dragged over her alleged involvement in her estranged husband and disgraced lawyer Tom Girardi's money embezzlement case, the housewife has been pretty touchy about the topic. Why is anybody surprised that she's touchy? Okay. Though Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans were willing to give her the benefit of who was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt? Where are these people that were willing to give her the benefit of the doubt? Where are they? I haven't seen them. All I see is hate. And again, I don't know whether or not that hate is warranted, but please, who was giving her the benefit of the doubt? Oh, Lord. We're willing to give her the benefit of the doubt and listen to her side of the story. Again, who are these people? But after watching her increasingly erratic behavior with each passing episode, fans are slowly changing their mind about her. What? Oh, the lies. Okay. Her latest faux pas on the recently aired episode of RHOBH was her explanation as to why she wasn't showing any compassion to the victims and their families, from blaming a legal situation to accusing the victims of lying about not being paid monetary compensation. Erika said pretty damaging things that didn't sit well with fans. And is there more? The housewife can be heard saying, "I have been dragged through the mud for something that I didn't do, never happened," when her co-star Garcelle Beauvais pointed out that she was at the receiving end of the criticism from the audience on account of not showing any compassion. Erika once again resorted to getting defensive about it. So she said, "When you're in a legal situation like that, every word counts. We are not even sure that there were people that weren't paid." Erika's insinuating that the victims could be lying about not receiving the compensation money left the other housewives completely tongue-tied. Dorit Kemsley tried getting clarification on what Erika meant by asking her if there was a chance that the victims were lying. Erika replied saying, "There's a chance." Long pause. I mean, why are people so surprised that she's behaving this way? If she's dealing with an ongoing situation that is in court and it's being, argued in court, this, that, or the other way, whatever, she's making perfect sense to me. She has to be very careful about what words she uses. She has to be very careful about the way she characterizes herself, or the way she talks about her husband, Tom, or the way she talks about the situation in general. So yeah, she's making complete sense. And yeah, I guess in a legal sense, or in a strategic sense of whatever's going on in that courtroom or this legal situation, how do we know? How does anybody know that these people that were allegedly stiffed by Tom, how does anybody know that these people are not lying? Why is this making sense to me? The things that Erika's saying, they're making sense to me, but everybody else is horrified. Or they're pretending, maybe more accurately. Maybe they're pretending to be horrified. I don't think they're really horrified. Especially the people on this show. Her castmates. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Something ain't making sense. The fans were shocked and angry after watching Erika's insensitive reaction. It's insensitive. To protect yourself legally, I guess it's insensitive. A fan tweeted, "Erika, every word counts. Also, Erika, the victims are possibly liars. This woman is a pure sociopath." We all know Erika watched The Housewife and The Hustler. The victims are very real. Cruella Jane, shaking my head, SMH, shaking my head, wrote a fan. This is, oh, I'm not going to read that. Now she's adding insult to embezzlement. Wow, she is a special kind of evil. Victim blaming the victims of a plane disaster, and then victims of her husband's fraud, and she is smearing them. I just can't, commented a shocked fan. Erika got offended by Sutton calling her a liar because she's a victim, but she's calling the real victims liars. I don't know. It says the fan pointed out the irony. Where's the irony there? Do these people understand what the word irony means? Only if the victims are not lying is this irony. But what if they are? And how would we know? Like, the people who know for sure aren't talking. At least not publicly, as far as I can tell, from trying to find information online. Irony. Sutton called Erika a liar. I don't know if that's 100% true. It says here, Sutton called her a liar. I don't know if she called her a liar, but Sutton was definitely concerned about that LA Times article and how it might possibly affect her. And everybody loves Sutton, and I guess on the show, if you're watching the show like kind of as a spectator sport, yeah, I guess Sutton's the one to root for, right? But Sutton was really, really concerned about how Erika's situation could affect her. And I still can't figure out why Sutton was so concerned. I just don't understand it. It don't make no sense. To me, in my opinion, don't make no sense. But let me keep going. This is going to be a long-ass video. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with this article. There's... yeah, people aren't thinking clearly. They're not thinking clearly, and they're not, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but something's wrong. This article, I just want to use this article to demonstrate something. Gavin Newsom has long-standing ties to Dem power player facing lawsuits investigations. That Dem power player is Tom Girardi. Tom Girardi has backed many a Democratic candidate, including Newsom. Okay. Okay, let me go back for a second to my page over here. I've been doing a lot of, well, not a lot. I've done like part 4 of my Exorcist analysis. And the thing that kind of boggles my mind about The Exorcist is how many Jesuits are in this movie. They're everywhere. The thing is shot in Georgetown. Georgetown University was the first, I believe, the first Catholic university in America, and it's the first Jesuit university in America, in the New World, I guess we can call it, right? And you don't have to believe me. You can check into it for yourself. I've mentioned in other videos how many prominent people right now in the United States and in the world, really, are products of a Jesuit education. One of those people is Tom Girardi. Loyola Marymount University, BA and JD. He got his undergraduate degree and his JD at Loyola Marymount University. Anytime you see something named Loyola, it's a Jesuit institution, because that's the name of one of the founders of the Society of Jesus, Ignatius Loyola. Okay? Now, what the hell is this? Oh, no, sorry. Gavin Newsom. You don't have to believe me. You can look it up for yourself. But Gavin Newsom is also the product of a Jesuit education. And so is his ex-wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who is now the girlfriend of Donald Trump's son, Don Jr., and Donald Trump is the product of a Jesuit education, and so is his daughter Ivanka, and his other son Eric, and his other daughter Tiffany. Okay, you can see where I'm going with this. Same thing with Hunter. You know, check out my Hunter Biden videos if you feel so inclined. This is the last one, the latest one. Is that the one? Wait. No, this is it, part 8. Untitled on Canvas, part 8. Analyzing Art, Hunter Biden. Hunter went to Georgetown. Am I saying that any of this means anything? No, I'm not. But I am stating facts. So Gavin Newsom, for some reason Fox News, which, very interesting, long pause, they wanted to point out that Gavin Newsom has long-standing ties to Tom Girardi. Okay. And oh, lordy, Lord. Again, allegedly embezzling millions of dollars, allegedly intended, they use that word a lot, as settlement money to family members of victims of the 2008 Lion Air crash. Okay, he has Gavin Newsom, long-standing ties to Democrat power player who's facing down investigations and lawsuits alleging the embezzlement of millions of dollars of settlement money. Okay. All right. In fact, Newsom received a total of $87,600 from Girardi for his 2008 gubernatorial campaign, and his 2014 lieutenant governor campaign received a total of $8,500. Campaign finance records show. All right. Wow, they're good at finding information. What else are they good at? These people who are doing this story. What is going on here? They wanted to make a point that Gavin Newsom is tied to... so we know that Tom is and was, he probably still is in his own way, a big mover and shaker. And, okay, another article I wanted to show you is from the LA Business Journal, 2012, called Works for Scale. And I guess that has a double meaning, the title. But this is a profile about Tom. It mentions pg&e and Merck and Company. He's brought these corporate behemoths, to their knees. Okay. He's worried that crossing his arms will make him look like a bleep. Okay. Go ahead and take a look at this article, especially this last part. I'm not going to read you all of this, but this is from 2012. Education, Bachelor's Psychology, Loyola University, JD, Loyola Law School, and then he went to New York University. Lives in Pasadena with his second wife, Erika Jayne. Has 4 adult children from his first marriage. Golf, he likes to play golf. He says he's not very good at it in this article. He says here, look at this. Do you have any plan in place for when you leave? They're referring to the law firm. He says no. This job, running this firm, trying to make sure fairness takes place, nobody leaves here. Keese was my partner 44 years ago. The firm is still called Girardi Keese. Virtually everyone else here was once a law clerk. I've had 2 secretaries in 44 years. If you join this firm, it's a life sentence. Wow. 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 In this part of the article, they're talking about the stuffed animals in his office, and the interviewer says there's a couple hippopotamuses here too, and Tom Girardi says that's a pet name that Erika gives to me. I'm the hippopotamus. And the interviewer says, where does that come from? And he says, I think it comes from my size, but I'm much thinner now that I work out all the time. Okay. I don't think she called him a hippopotamus because he was pudgy or whatever. No. A hippopotamus is one of the most dangerous animals on planet Earth. As quiet as it's kept. Again, shout out to Alexander Rogers. A hippo will kill you dead. I've heard that they're much more dangerous than sharks. Erika called him a hippopotamus. I mean, maybe that's not what she meant. Maybe it was just, she thought it was cute to call him that. I don't know. But there's the possibility that that's what she meant too. I'm just leaving that there. I don't know. I'm speculating. Okay, what else do I have? But, do read that article. It's very interesting. All about the tea. This is from June of last year. Erika Jayne busted. Evidence shows she knew about Tom Girardi's legal issues all along. And there's a reason why I got this article up. Okay. I've researched a little bit. And I remember hearing or reading somewhere that Erika would sit... Excuse me. I guess I need a sip of coffee because I've been talking for a while. I've read or watched or heard somewhere that Erika would sit in Tom's business meetings in his office or wherever, like a lot. Like so much that, it got to it was kind of weird. Like, as his wife, why was she in meetings at the law firm? And I could not find that quote. I looked and looked and looked, but I found this. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Erika indicated on numerous occasions that she sat in with business meetings with him and clients, ! She also said that she went to dinner meetings as well. She was served in May 2020. Most of all, her name was on numerous items as stated who would allow their name to be used by anyone. Her and Tom were together on all of it. Okay, I'll stop there. And this poster, whoever this is right. I've heard that too. But for some reason, that information seems to have been scrubbed from the internet. And this is the only place I can find a mention of it. And I tried so hard looking for that. Erika indicated on numerous occasions that she sat in with business meetings with him and clients and dinner meetings. Where's the thing? Yep. Attorney confirms Erika Jayne wore a wire for a fraud case. Something's up. Something is up. Something is up. Something is up. I was searching for a line there. Okay. And the burn victim, San Bruno pipeline explosion. All right. Listen. I'm just going to go through this quickly. This is the only thing I could find online. This plain sight page that has anything to do with the pg&e gas line explosion. This is the only document, or not even documents, like this is the closest I could get to finding any like real concrete information about that case for the Ruy Gomez family where they were represented by Tom Girardi. This is it. I've turned over everything. I looked at Court Listener. I looked everywhere. I mean, it's no use looking at Pacer because I don't have an account. But I can't find any information about the Ruy Gomez case. None. I found this Wikipedia page, but that's it. And this is it. Yeah, represented by Girardi, Keese, and Crane. I guess they were called that at the time, right? I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, but that's what I found. And is this also... Oh, yes. Tom Girardi's fire victim goes to court to fight against pricey attorney used in investigation. This is from November 1st, 2021. So not a whole year ago, but last year. This is when like the heat was really on Erika and Tom, and everybody was talking about them in the press, and this Ruy Gomez person is one of the people that is featured in the Housewife and the Hustler documentary. The one that I said is very poorly done because it doesn't answer any questions or ask any questions. It just throws up a bunch of stuff without any kind of order, any kind of reason, logic, no argument, no nothing. It's just, it's just a hit piece. I'm being objective, and I'm not even really much of an Erika fan. Okay? I always thought she was an interesting character on the show, but I'm not a big Erika fan. I never have been. But the more I read about this stuff, the more I kind of want to support Erika, and I want this process to play out before anybody says anything else about her, because it's not fair. It's not fair. What's going on? So this sounds like somebody. In my opinion, to me, this situation looks like somebody is getting their revenge on Tom Girardi and or Erika Jayne. That's how I feel about it. I could be wrong. I probably am, because I don't know what I don't know. But that's what it seems like to me. Even if he has been doing all of this that he's been accused of, is he the only lawyer in America whose hands are not clean? If his hands are not clean, at all. I don't know, because I don't know. He can't be the only dirty lawyer on planet Earth or in America. So why so much focus on him just because Erika's on the show? What is really going on? I don't think that what's really going on is what they're saying is going on. I think that the public, the people watching these shows and following these blogs and the gossip websites and the YouTube channels, and they're there because they enjoy gossip, but you know why they're not there? The people that are consuming this material, they're not there because they care anything about facts. And I haven't seen any yet. I haven't seen anything that makes sense to me yet. I haven't seen, I wish I could see one person, one writer, one blogger, one YouTube person, so just bring some facts and, pertinent information. I have yet to see that. I'm going to take a little break real quick, but I will be right back and just pick up right where I left off. Okay, I'm back. Had to take a little break because I've been talking for almost an hour. But anyway, I'm going to talk about this and maybe a couple of more things, right? Yeah, here it is. This article. Erika Jayne doubles down, refuses to settle with orphans and widows scammed by Tom Girardi. This is from February of this year. An entertainment blogger wrote this. It says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne is doubling down on her stance that she doesn't owe Tom Girardi's alleged victims any money. So basically these people are using the same language as Erika about these cases, but they're being, in my opinion, a little hypocritical when they criticize Erika for doing it. The same thing they're doing. Okay. The reality star's lawyer filed a proof of claim in connection to her estranged husband's involuntary bankruptcy case, in which Erika reiterates that she had nothing to do with the once famed attorney's misdeeds. Okay. Tom's alleged victim, again, they're using the word alleged So, like, what's up? They have all made similar claims that the attorney was awarded settlement funds after winning various lawsuits, but then made excuses to dodge turning over the funds. Tom's defunct law firm, Girardi Keese, is accused of being in the hole for over $101 million. Okay. All right. Erika is named defendant. The lawyer and the trustee hammered out an agreement that allowed Erika to be personally sued by the widows and orphans of the crash victims. Joseph Rui Gomez, a fire burn victim, claims that he's owed $11 million. Tom represented Rui Gomez after he was injured in a 2010 gas pipeline explosion. And like I showed you, where is it? This is the only thing I can find online. And trust me, I've been looking. I've been Googling like there's no tomorrow, trying to find information. Not these articles that say the same thing over and over and over again, but like actual information about the case, what happened, in the courtroom, how this was argued, and most importantly, what I was really looking for that I could not find was any source that stated that, yeah, Joseph Rui Gomez was awarded the sum of money he's claiming to have been awarded. I know that sounds like I have no heart whatsoever, but I'm just trying to look at this objectively. I cannot find any information regarding that. So when Erika says, yeah, these people might be lying, based on my research, she might very well be right. Let me go back for a second, right? Where is it? The San Bruno pipeline explosion. It has a Wikipedia article dedicated to it. All right, and you can read through all of this, and what happened, and how it happened, and when it happened, and whatever. But I was interested most in this fourth section, litigation, private party, state of California, and what have you. Okay. So we, again, if you've been following this case, you know what happened to Joe Rui Gomez and this explosion and the fire. He had terrible burns, and he was represented by Tom Girardi. If you watch the Housewife and the Hustler, you'll see that story. Again, they don't really talk about anything in depth. They just regurgitate information that's already out there in countless other sources online. Okay? Anyway, through more than 20 law firms, over 100 plaintiffs have sued Pacific Gas and Electric and or its parent PG&E Corporation in the Superior Courts of California in over 70 separate lawsuits. Virtually all were filed in the local state court, the Superior Court of California for the city of San Mateo. All the cases were considered and transferred to Judge Stephen L. Dilena on March 4, 2011, and designated as Judicial Council Coordinated Proceeding, JCCP, number 4648, PG&E San Bruno Fire cases. On June 3, 2011, the plaintiffs filed a consolidated master complaint. All right, so in the middle of all of this, Tom was representing Joe Rui Gomez, all right, who suffered and who was injured terribly in the fires that resulted from this explosion. All right. On July 5th, 2011, PG&E's lawyers filed their answer to the master complaint. A week later, the San Francisco Chronicle ran a front-page story attacking the defendants for invoking certain routine defenses in their answer, like state-of-the-art and comparative negligence. Okay, whatever. In September 2013, PG&E settled the claims of 347 victims. PG&E had previously settled with 152 victims. The additional settlements brought the total the total payment to $565 million for 499 victims. Okay. 2 victims' lawsuits remained after the settlement, but newspapers later reported the $565 million figure as the final settlement for all victim claims. PG&E stated in its 2015 annual report that it had paid $558 million in third-party claims and $92 million in legal costs and received $515 million from insurance. Okay, so I guess they're going to be all right. But this figure here, $565 million for 499 victims, that's an average of, a little over $1 million for each victim. Joseph Ruy Gomez claims that he was awarded $12 million. So, okay. I mean, I don't know, maybe he does deserve all that money or needs that money for medical treatments or whatever. There are people who died. His girlfriend died in this situation, in this accident, whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know how that money was distributed. I don't know who got what sum of money. This victim or this victim's family, did they get X amount of dollars? Another victim or victim's family, did they get like Y amount of dollars? And somebody else got Z amount of dollars? I don't know. But Joseph Ruy Gomez is claiming that he got $12 million and that he was awarded by the court $12 million, but he only received $1 million of it, and Tom Girardi took the other $11 million and promised to invest it in, like, where is it? Does he have a, no, that's not it. Tom Girardi promised to invest it in that's Ronald Richards. Tom Girardi promised to invest it in a high interest savings account, I think. Here's an article. NBC Bay Area. San Bruno fire victim says famous attorney holding back on PG&E settlement payout. This is from 2019. Okay, so this is kind of when Tom's troubles really started, the ones that we're seeing in the media. One of the victims of the San Bruno gas pipeline explosion filed a lawsuit Wednesday that claims his high-profile attorney, portrayed in the film Erin Brockovich, is keeping too much money PG&E paid to compensate for his severe injuries and trauma. Joseph Ruy Gomez suffered burns over 90% of his body in the gas explosion that claimed the life of his girlfriend, Jessica Morales, back in September 2010. Okay. But now he says that he is a victim again, accusing his attorney of withholding money that is still owed out of the sum PG&E paid to compensate him. All right, so this article is written in 2019, and it says here, overall, the utility paid out about $500 million to resolve suits over the blast that left 8 people dead and destroyed the Crestmore neighborhood. Okay. They say 500. Wikipedia says 565 million for 499 victims. Okay. This is odd. It's odd. Girardi was, okay, Erin Brockovich, okay. Ruy Gomez has already had 30 procedures. It's been 9 years, okay. In this article, it doesn't mention the $12 million sum that he was supposed to have been awarded, but in other places it does, and I've been reading a lot about this. Something isn't making sense here. This is one of the reasons that everybody hates Erika, because allegedly Tom withheld the money owed to this guy from his settlement, and that might very well be true. I'm not saying it's not true, but I have not yet seen anything. I mean, what I'm basically saying is, you have, as a person who's like maybe following these stories, reading them on the internet, whatever, you have no choice but to take the word of whatever source you happen to be reading at the time, because you and me, we don't have access to any of these documents. We can't confirm these numbers. We can't confirm these figures, 500 million or 565 million or 11 million or 12 million or whatever. There's no way. There's absolutely no way for us to look into this. Oh, there she is. What is this? Oh yeah, this is a lawsuit. Doubles down, refuses to settle with orphans and widows scammed by Tom Girardi. My goodness. And then back to this article where, they talk about Erika being callous, pure sociopath for accusing victims of lying about not receiving money. Have any of these people who've written these articles seen the evidence for themselves? Have they seen the court documents? I told you I tried to find them online. I can't. Wherever they are, they're in a place where ordinary people cannot access them. Okay? If they exist at all, because I haven't seen them, so I don't know. All right, so everybody's on Erika's case, as she's calling her a sociopath for accusing the victims of lying. Okay, so I talked a little bit about the Ruy Gomez case. And yeah, what happened to him was horrific. But again, I cannot find any information of it except this plain sight page. So all these other people writing all these other articles, where are they getting their information? If they're getting information, period, are they just relying on what? Word of mouth, gossip, conjecture? What? This kind of thing bugs me. I don't know why it does, but it does. Now, let's move on to the Lion Air situation. Is there an article that I wanted to show you? Oh, yeah. Well, basically, yeah, this I already showed you. Refuses to settle with orphans and widows. When they say orphans and widows, they are talking about the Lion Air crash. And here is the Wikipedia article about Lion Air Flight 610. Okay. Victims. Now, oh no, that's not what I was looking for. Legal action. That's what. December 31st, 2018, the family of the first officer filed a lawsuit against Boeing, claiming negligence. The lawsuit also claimed that the aircraft sensors provided inaccurate flight data, causing its anti-stall system to improperly engage, as well as Boeing not providing proper instructions to pilots about how to handle the situation. In March 2019, victims' families reported irregularities, saying that Lion Air pressured them into signing away their rights to seek legal recourse for undercompensation. Okay, that's weird, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what that might mean. In December 2020, a federal judge in Chicago froze the assets of attorney Tom Girardi as finding that he misappropriated at least $2 million in client funds that were due to the families of those killed in the crash of a Boeing jet in Indonesia. Okay, they're talking about this case, and I do want to go back. Hold on. And like I said, when they say orphans and widows, they're talking about this case. So let's look at this. Victims. There were 189 people on board the craft, 181 passengers, 178 adults, 1 child and 2 infants, as well as 6 cabin crew and 2 pilots. All 189 passengers and crew on board were killed. Okay? That's what we're dealing with here. 189 people died. All right? So everybody is after Tom for Lion Air. What else did they mention in his biography here on Wikipedia? They mentioned that he was disbarred, and something to do with hormone replacement therapy. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to concentrate on the hormone replacement therapy case. I said I was going to concentrate on Lion Air and the explosion in San Bruno. All right, and I did the San Bruno one kind of. And I'm just asking questions here. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Did not deal with this one in Nicaragua. I might at some other time. But the Lion Air crash. In December 2020, a federal judge froze his assets. Okay, same thing it says over here. Is it the same thing it says over here? Oh. Families of those killed. No, that's the San Bruno one. Okay, here's the Lion Air. Okay. Listen. I say 189 people on board. Right? All of them were killed. Nationality, passengers, crew, total. Okay. Indonesia, Italy, India. Now read this paragraph. Among the passengers were 20 Ministry of Finance employees, 10 Audit Board of Indonesia employees, 2 auditors from the Finance and Development Inspection Agency, 3 Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources employees, 3 public attorneys, 3 Indonesian National Police officers, 6 Bangka Belitung Regional People's Representative Council members, and 3 judges of Indonesia's High Court and National Court, for a total of 38 civil servants, 3 police officers, and 10 state officials. There were 2 confirmed foreigners among those on board, the pilot from India and an Italian citizen, former professional cyclist Andrea Manfredi. Now, I'm going to look into this further, because in all of the articles that I've read about Tom, about Erika, about her being a sociopath, about, all the stuff about them, I have yet to find an article that names the victims of this particular event, this plane crash, Lion Air Flight 610. So when Erika says, was it this one? No. Was it this one? No. This one. Sociopath. The sociopath article. And there are others out there. I just chose one. None of these articles tell you the names of the victims that Tom Girardi was representing. Long pause. He wasn't I've done a little bit of reading on it, and I need to retrace my steps and find those articles again. It says victims here, 189 people. He wasn't representing all 189 of those people. And that's the first issue. The second issue, this airplane crash happened in where? Indonesia. Site, Java Sea, off the north coast of Karawang Regency, Indonesia. Like, why was an American lawyer representing these people to begin with? I mean, was he? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but he was. I guess he was. They were suing Boeing for, I guess, wrongful death, or I don't know what. I don't know this terminology. But when they say orphans and widows, they mean this case. And I did a little bit of reading of that. I'm pretty good at finding information. And I'm going to try and relocate it. But I was able to find some more information that I will bring to you in another video. All right? Not now. And I've already done too much. I've already been talking for almost an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm fitting to wrap it up. I hope I haven't bored you too much. Something's wrong with this case. Something's wrong with the way that Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi, are being treated in the media. I'm not saying they're angels. And you know why I'm not saying that? Because I don't know. I'm not saying they're devils either, because I don't know. But something is missing. These articles all read the same. I mean, I have yet to find one that is in support of Erika or Tom. Which, I mean, should I be surprised by that? I don't know. And I can't find, any really serious information about these cases. That information is unavailable to the public. So anybody writing an article about this, where'd they get their information? Who told them? Where's their sources? Like I said, these articles and these magazines, blogs, newspapers, they don't provide a bibliography. They don't provide notes and tell you where they got their information and who and what they're referencing or citing. They just expect you to take their word for it. I don't think that's okay. But that's just me. Now, I'm just going to leave you with this before I sign off. You know what? I might even just leave you the links just so you can look at them yourself. This article is from September of last year, when it was kind of in the thick of everything. Right. It's died off a little bit, like the animosity towards Erika. They're not talking about her as much in the media, but people are still pissed at her, and I still want to know why. Again, she might not be an angel, but how can I know? How can I know whether she's an angel or a devil if I don't have any information at all? All I have is word of mouth that might be contaminated somehow. I don't know. I like to look at things, I often say that not everything has to make sense. This sure doesn't make sense. The news articles about these people are not making sense to me, Erika and Tom. But anyway, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erika Jayne agrees with Donald Trump comparison in defense of tweet. Erika Jayne gave a surprising response to a Twitter user who compared her to Donald Trump after an explosive Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode aired Wednesday night. Now, this is from September 2nd, 2021. Erika Jayne didn't dismiss a viewer's comparison of her to the former U.S. President Donald Trump after an explosive episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills aired Wednesday night. Erika continues to find herself in controversy amid her divorce and legal troubles. Erika's lawyer ex-husband, Tom Girardi, is accused of embezzling his client's money over the last decade until his top LA law firm went bankrupt. Her castmates question whether Erika, who is now being sued for $25 million for using Tom's firm's money for her own business, knew more than she is admitting on Real Housewives. The most recent Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode, rightfully titled The Dinner Party from Hell, Part 2, saw Erika go to bat for herself at Kathy Hilton's dinner party when the other Beverly Hills ladies put her in the hot seat about the embezzlement rumors. Erika sparred with her frenemy, Sutton Strachey, I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, who challenged the Pretty Mess singer's ignorance of Tom's shady dealings. I'll go head on with you all fucking day, Erika said to Sutton. I'm telling the truth. I am not a liar. You have a lot of fucking nerve. Viewers saw the reality star break down in tears while being grilled at the gathering. While watching the episode along with viewers, Erika further defended herself in live tweets throughout the heated episode. Erika gave an unexpected response to one viewer's meme. The user's tweet, captioned "Twinning," shared a photo of an enraged Erika from the September 1st episode next to a photo of Donald Trump. Erika quote tweeted the meme and gave a surprising answer. quote, not the guy I voted for, but yes, for spitting venom at absolute bullshit, Erika wrote, adding, I'll take it. Erika further defended her fiery reaction to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ladies' attack in a separate tweet. God forbid I fight for myself, Erika wrote, adding an eye roll emoji. Stop thinking I'll quit just because you think I should. Fuck that. Erika continued her tweet with a message to her fan base, which has appeared to wane amid her legal woes. Thank you to everyone that is supportive and understanding, Erika wrote. I will not be stopped, she concluded, adding a diamond emoji. And this is the tweet in question. Not the guy I voted for, but yes, for spitting venom at absolute bullshit, I'll take it. I'm going to talk about this more. I'm going to talk about this more in future installments of my special report about Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi. But this last part here, Erika showed love for another famous Republican in another tweet in response to the former The View host, in response to former The View host Meghan McCain. The daughter of late Senator John McCain shared a group photo with Erika, writing, Team at Erika Jayne, we love you. Erika responded, Team at Meghan McCain, adding a red heart emoji, always. Okay, you guys, I ended it here for a reason. I'm gonna mention this article again about her saying, I'll take it, with regard to the Donald Trump comparison. Okay, she's respectful of Donald Trump here. She says, she didn't vote for him, but she doesn't mind being compared to him. That's how I interpret her tweet. And then, she showed her support for Meghan McCain after Meghan McCain showed her support for Erika. Remember when I said, oh, where's a good picture? I can't find one right now. I said, I told you. I'm trying to find a picture of Tom. You'd be surprised at how hard that is. A good picture. They don't get him at his best all the time. There he is. Hold on. This one. Right? I told you that he's a product of a Jesuit education. And so is Gavin Newsom, and so is his ex-wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle. And so is Donald Trump and Eric Trump and Ivanka Trump and Tiffany Trump and arguably Melania and Ivana and I can't think of anybody else right now. And Hunter Biden is also. And I said that in the context of I've been researching for this, for my Exorcist videos, right? Well, you're not going to believe this. You know who else is a product of a Jesuit education, as far as I can tell from Wikipedia? Look it up before they remove it. Meghan McCain. All right, so I think I've talked enough for this episode, for this installment of my special report on Erika Jayne. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. I don't know if I said anything, but I tried. I'm not saying much, really. I'm asking questions because I can't find the answers on my own. I cannot find the information. I'm beginning to very strongly suspect that, I'll put that there, that's a good picture, that Erika is being possibly treated unfairly for all kinds of possible reasons. That's my opinion. And to me, something isn't making sense here. Something really isn't making sense here. So, like I said, I'm going to come back with this. I'm going to do more of these because I want to figure out what's going on. Or, ask more questions because nobody's asking them. I can't find any good information. I can't find court documents online. I can't find, factual reports of what's going on. I can't find confirmations that people were awarded this, that, or the other sum of money. as a result of a court case that Tom Girardi won. I can't find, well, I did one time, and I'm going to try and find again the names of the victims that Tom represented for the Lion Air crash. So I'm going to be on this, and I'm going to talk about Sutton. Yes, I am. And I'm going to talk about Bethany. Yes, I am. We're going to get into it. So, if you're a Real Housewives fan, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, whatever, stay tuned. You might learn something. So, you guys, once again, if you're a returning viewer, thank you for returning. If you're a new viewer, thank you for being new. In either case, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share the video if you know somebody who might enjoy this. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button. Go ahead and let me know what I did wrong and how I can do better. So other than that, I'm going to thank you again. And until the next time that I find yet another reason to talk at you. And I hope this video takes, and I hope I can upload it. But until next time, I will go ahead and bid you bye-bye. So, bye-bye, everybody.